Tuesdays with Morrie. Tuesdays with Morrie is the story of a dying man who teaches the meaning of life in his final days. The author, Mitch Albom, once studied sociology at Brandeis University, where his favorite professor was Morrie Schwartz. Morrie was not just a teacher of books, he was a teacher of humanity, kindness, and wisdom. When Mitch graduated, young and full of ambition, he promised Morrie that he would keep in touch. But like many promises of youth, it was soon broken. Mitch got lost in the fast pace of life. He became a successful sports journalist, always rushing, always chasing deadlines, fame, and money. But deep inside, he felt empty, restless, and unsatisfied. Years later, Mitch happened to watch a television program that changed his life. It was a news segment featuring his old professor. Morrie was being interviewed about his battle with ALS, a disease that slowly destroys the muscles until even breathing becomes impossible. What struck Mitch was not the tragedy of the illness, but the way Morrie faced it, with peace, with honesty, and even with humor. That night, something awakened in Mitch. He reached out to Morrie, and soon he found himself visiting his old professor again. That first meeting was filled with warmth, and from then on, Mitch began coming every Tuesday. These visits turned into the most important class of his life, a class about how to live. The lessons of the Tuesdays. Each Tuesday, Mitch and Morrie chose a subject to talk about, subjects that matter deeply to every human being, but are often ignored in the rush of daily life. 1. Life and death. Morrie often said, "When you learn how to die, you learn how to live." He believed that facing death directly strips away all illusions. When we accept that life is limited, we begin to cherish each day more fully. Death, for Morrie, was not the end, but the teacher that makes us aware of life's true value. 2. Love. For Morrie, love was the foundation of existence. Love is the only rational act, he said. Money, fame, and possessions all fade, but love is what endures in the memory of others. Without love, he believed, we wither like a plant without water. 3. Forgiveness. Morrie regretted holding on to old grudges. He taught Mitch that we must forgive others, and we must forgive ourselves. To carry anger or guilt is to carry an unnecessary burden. Forgiveness brings peace, especially when time is running out. 4. Materialism and culture. Morrie criticized a culture that teaches people that success is measured by wealth and possessions. He called it a meaningless substitute for real connection. He encouraged Mitch to create his own culture, one based on compassion, kindness, and meaningful relationships. 5. Aging. Morrie did not fear aging. He said every age has its own gifts. Youth brings energy, but age brings wisdom. Instead of clinging to youth, he embraced the natural process of growing older as a chance to see life more clearly. Mitch's transformation. At the beginning, Mitch was a man lost in the noise of modern life. He was always busy, yet deeply unfulfilled. But with each Tuesday, he changed. He became more reflective, more present, more loving. He realized that success was not about working endlessly or chasing more money, but about being close to the people he loved and finding meaning in his choices. The last Tuesday. As the weeks passed, Morrie's body weakened. Speaking became harder, breathing became painful, but his spirit remained strong. In their final meeting, Mitch embraced his teacher with tears in his eyes. Morrie told him that love does not end with death. Death ends a life, not a relationship. Shortly after, Morrie passed away. But his lessons lived on not only in Mitch's heart, but in the millions of readers who found guidance in this story. The core message. Tuesdays with Morrie is not just about dying, it is about living. It reminds us that life is fragile and that our true purpose is not to accumulate wealth or fame, but to give and receive love, to forgive, to connect, and to leave behind a legacy of kindness. The book whispers a timeless truth. What we carry into eternity is not what we owned, but what we gave.